it gave me a sort of status, and I think that that is what luxury is to a lot of people, is status. And for me, that was very true. It was never a practical handbag for me, and for something that is over $10,000, I just couldn't have it sitting in my closet. Just walking down the street and everyone having the same never full tote feels kind of like to me, like I don't love it. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Raisa. If you're new here, hello. I do videos about all things luxury goods, personal finances, and just generally navigating your life in your 20s and your 30s. So if you want to stick around for that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I've got 4 designer handbags here that fall under the quiet luxury category. So if you want to see that, then just keep on watching. So the way that I want to structure this video is I'm going to talk about my first ever designer handbag purchase and all the way up to my most recent handbag purchase. For your reference, I started to collect or purchase designer handbags in 2018. Over the last couple years, I've definitely picked up some new handbags and I've sold a lot of them as well. I think I have a really curated collection that really fits my style. The very first handbag I want to show you guys is the Celine Phantom Cabas tote in the black. This is actually from the Phoebe Philo collection. So the way that you can tell that is because the Celine logo still has the accent over the E. Celine has now removed that accent over the E with the new creative direction with Hedi Slimane. So Phoebe Philo was the creative director from 2008 to 2018. And I just remember growing up and thinking that Celine was the brand that really speaks to me. But at that time, I really didn't have any money to purchase anything from Celine. But as I kind of grew up and I started to work and earn my own money, I kind of knew in the back of my mind that this would be the very first bag that I would ever purchase. So this was definitely a calculated purchase. I saved up for it for over 2 years, I want to say. It's one of my favorite purchases and my oldest handbag in my collection. I just can't let this one go, mainly because of that sentimental value that it has for me, but also it is such a practical handbag. This handbag is actually still sold at Celine. It just doesn't have the original logo, but it is still made the exact same way. If you're looking for a new work handbag or your very first designer handbag, I think you'll definitely get your money's worth with this one. That's kind of my mentality when I was first buying a designer handbag. I've had such an amazing experience with that Cabas tote. Such a timeless and classic handbag. You really can't go wrong with it. And I feel like it is more of a if you know, you know handbag or a quiet luxury handbag, because if you're just wearing this down the street, no one really knows what bag this is. They kind of just think that it is a black leather handbag. It's very low key in comparison to the other designer handbags in the market like the Goyard or the Neverfull. So highly recommend this one as a quiet luxury tote handbag option. So after that purchase, I needed to recoup some money, and really I haven't purchased any new handbags for a while just because I wasn't really making any money back then, and everything that I had I was pretty much saving. So I used that bag for 2 years straight for almost everything. There was a phase in my life where I bought a lot of Louis Vuitton. I did purchase a ton of SLGs just because they are a friendlier price point. I made a video of my favorite SLGs from Louis Vuitton here. You guys can check that out after this video. And then I started to dabble in handbags. So the Louis Vuitton handbags that I purchased were the Nano Speedy as well as the Pochette accessoire. Those 2 bags were kind of within the $1,000 to $2,000 mark, and I felt like it gave me a sort of status. And I think that that is what luxury is to a lot of people, is status. And for me, that was very true. The reason why I was buying handbags at that time was to show off to other people, look at my new handbag, look at this, I can afford this. Because Louis Vuitton is so well known, it kind of signaled to other people that I had money. So at the time that I was purchasing this back in 2020, I didn't really think about it in that way. I kind of bought them because I told myself I really like these bags, they're so classic, they'll never lose money. And even though all of that is true, the other side of the coin is still that I was buying designer handbags to impress other people and less about the things that I liked. And when I realized that, that's kind of when I stopped buying Louis Vuitton. So I sold my Nano Speedy and I also sold my Pochette accessoire. I did keep the SLGs just because The SLGs are mostly meant for me. I have a key holder that I use every day. Only I see that. Like, I don't really like show off my keys to other people. I also have two toiletry bags. So the toiletry 19 and the niece mini. And those two things don't really see the light of day. Like, I don't photograph them or people don't really see them. So I know that I'm keeping those things because I like them, as opposed to showing off to people that look at my Louis Vuitton small leather goods. So I did keep those, and I also have a key pouch. So those four things have stayed in my collection, but all other Louis Vuitton handbags I have since sold. So after my Louis Vuitton obsession has come and gone, I went back to the basics. So everything that I love about designer luxury, which is well-made quality handbags that I can use for many, many years, or even pass on to my children. So I discovered Loewe. I know Loewe is trending right now, which is great because I do think that Loewe makes amazing, well-made luxury items, not just handbags. They have so many other leather goods that they make. But the only Loewe item that I have right now is my black Loewe puzzle bag in this small size in the palladium or silver hardware. So I've had this handbag for over 3 years now, and similar to my Celine cabas tote, it does not look like it's been 3 years. It actually kind of looks like I just recently got it. My favorite thing about handbags is that you wear them so often, but they don't look like they've been worn a ton. So yeah, my Loewe handbag is in amazing condition for 3 years of wear. I love this handbag so much, and I mentioned in my Loewe 3-year review that if I lost this handbag, I would without a doubt repurchase it again, even at the price that it is today. I got this handbag on Essence for such a good deal. I think I remember paying $1,800 with taxes and everything. And today this handbag is close to $4,200 Canadian. So that's kind of crazy. In terms of logos on the bag, there is an anagram at the top here for Loewe, but even still, it's kind of still an unknown designer. Like, not everyone knows what Loewe is. Like, I think if you know, you know. And the puzzle bag has such a unique design that this is kind of recognizable now, but it hasn't reached like Louis Vuitton status. I love that because first of all, you're not going to be a target when you're kind of just walking down the street with a designer handbag. No one really knows what it is, so they don't know that it's an expensive handbag. And the other thing is, I personally don't like when I see people who have the same handbag as me. I mean, I can appreciate the handbag and the fact that we have very similar styles, but just walking down the street and everyone having the same never full tote feels kind of like to me. Like, I don't love it. That's why I love wearing this bag, because not everyone knows what it is or have it. Definitely my favorite handbag in my collection. The third bag I want to show you guys, I feel like I'm gonna get heat in the comments because it is a like loud designer, because it is a well-known designer, but I'm saying that it's quiet luxury because it's so small. The logo is very small and there's ways for you to kind of like hide that. So the bag that I'm talking about is the Prada Re-Edition 2000. So this is the shoulder bag. I know that most people actually have this because it was trending last year or 2 years ago. And there's also the really famous like crossbody one, the Re-Edition 2005. But mine is just a shoulder bag with the fabric strap here and the Prada logo right in the middle there. This handbag is so good, you guys. Like, I was humming and hawing about if I should get this handbag for so long, and I'm so glad that I did it. I bought this in 2021, I believe. It is the best, absolute best summer bag. It's so easy to just slip on your shoulder there. It fits really nicely if you're just going to the grocery store or walking to the park or going to the beach. It is so lightweight. It's the perfect like black handbag that fits with every single outfit. It fits a lot in here actually. So there is just a zipper right there, and it doesn't seem like it can fit a lot, but it really does. I love bringing this along. I wore this every single day in the summer 2 years ago and last year. So I highly recommend this one as a shoulder bag option. Okay, we have come to the last handbag, and this is my most recent handbag. I purchased this in the fall of last year. I definitely think that this is gonna be one of my favorite handbags to wear this summer, and it is the Celine Romy in the hickory color. And again, this is another shoulder bag. So this bag is a little bit bigger than the Prada Re-Edition 2000, like as you can see. This romy is going to fit more than the Prada Re-Edition. The romy is also made with this really smooth leather, and there is a small logo here that says Celine Paris. And as I mentioned earlier, Celine now has a new logo without the accent on the E. So this is actually from the Hedi Slimane collection, not Phoebe Philo. And it's got gold hardware detailing here. I have worn it a lot. I really like this bag because it is kind of a dressier option than the Prada Re-Edition. I got it in a hickory color, which is really surprising because as you can tell by the other handbags that I've had in my collection, I really gravitate towards black, but I wanted the hickory color just to add a little bit more to my collection so that not everything was so similar. And again, this handbag, if you don't know Celine or the design of the romy, you don't really know that it is a designer handbag, which I love. So I definitely think that this falls under the quiet luxury handbag category. This is the Celine romy and my most recent handbag in my collection. These two are probably going to be my summer handbag just because they're such easy shoulder bags to wear, and I think that they'll match with everything in my wardrobe. So that wraps up my quiet luxury handbag collection. This is actually my entire handbag luxury collection at the moment. I've purchased and sold many different handbags over the last 5 years since I started buying and collecting, and I want to say that I'm in a really good place with my handbags. The only other notable handbag that I've had in my collection and sold is the Chanel Classic Flap in the medium size with the gold hardware. That was actually my dream handbag, or so I thought. I had it in my collection for a year and a half, and I recently sold it last year because I just never wore it. I always babied it. I just never wore it, and I think it's for two reasons. The first is because it was so expensive. The Chanel Classic Flaps are now over $10,000 in Canadian. And the second one is it just wasn't usable. Like it was such a structured handbag, even though I got mine in the caviar leather, that you couldn't really fit anything in there. Like I could barely fit my essentials. So it was never a practical handbag for me, and for something that is over $10,000, I just couldn't have it sitting in my closet. So I did sell that handbag, and I thought I was going to miss it, but I really don't. I'm so happy with all the handbags that I have in my collection just because I do use all of them. Don't regret it at all. It's actually a really good decision because I was able to make my money back, and even more because of the price increases. Looking ahead, I am going to Paris in a couple days, and I do have my eyes set on a specific handbag. I'm going to leave my luxury wish list video here so you can watch that. That is it for my quiet luxury handbag collection. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And wherever you are, I hope that you're having an amazing day. Bye, you guys.